Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom reviews. See my title below. Yes, this is on episode 10 of Masamune Kun no Revenge, and I gotta say, I did not like this episode. There's several reasons behind that, but like literally, I just did not like where it was going. Once again, it seems like we're thrown some random obstacle in between, Masamune and getting Aki. And normally, I'd be okay with like something like that. But the way they presented it in this first episode, to which I will give it the benefit of the doubt for several reasons that I will state later on, but it felt that they just decided, oh my gosh, we need to throw something else in again. So this time, let's throw this guy in that I guess, he looks like Masamune back in the day. And, they're engaged all of a sudden. So once again, it's another, the way they presented it is that they did not introduce his character really that much. They don't really explain anything about him. He's just thrown in. They literally could, in my opinion, just thrown in a wall and be like, hey, there's your obstacle, Masamune. You have to somehow hurdle over that. That's what I felt about this. But I will give it the benefit of the doubt for several reasons. One being, I did say in the last episode that, in the forums, people were saying that this is where the story goes to shit. This character is bad and all this kind of stuff. And then someone did tell me in my comments that, don't listen to them. This is actually a pivotal thing in, for the development of this, not only the story, but also Masamune. So that is one of the reasons why I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. The other one being the fact that we all felt the same way. Before, I want you guys to, before you guys start saying like, oh my gosh, forget this show already. Why would they do this? It was getting really good. We finally got, Neko to, back down kind of thing, and it's now just going to be him trying to get Aki's heart and everything. The whole synopsis of this damn anime was, she pretty much broke his heart when he was younger, when he was fat and everything, being pig's foot and everything, and he wants her to fall in love with him, and then of course break her heart like he did, she did his. And that's pretty much what the synopsis is, and that's why a lot of people were like, what happened to the story? What happened to that story? Why is it this and that and this and that? But we all felt the same way about Neko. At first, when she first came on, I was like, why? The episodes coming to that point, I enjoyed. I loved it. They had a bunch of things going on there. We had the whole Masamune, why he wants to do his revenge and everything. And then we started to see that he started to kind of develop feelings for her. She started to develop feelings for him. We started to see some stuff like, obviously, she may have not, it may have been a misunderstanding somewhere along the way, because all she did have feelings for Masamune, and somewhere along the way that got mixed up. He got called pig's foot, he ran away, broken heart and everything, and for some reason there was also something that happened to her when she was younger that, why she hates men and everything like that. So there was a lot of interesting developing factors coming to this point that made it, honestly, pretty damn interesting to see Masamune struggle, because he starts to have feelings for her, maybe starts to have doubts, doubting his plan on getting revenge on her. While for her, she had a lot of doubts as well on, should she open her heart to him because of some event that still haven't been explained yet at the moment. So that's kind of irritating. But it may come at a very specific point in these next couple episodes. So I'm okay with that. That was really interesting. And then they threw Neko in. And it felt like, oh my gosh, they're just trying to do a damn love triangle just for the sake of having some obstacle. Like, all of a sudden, this girl comes out of nowhere and says she's in love with Masamune. So you're over here like, why? And I knew there were so many people that were really pissed off about that, but I continued to watch it. And if you're watching this review, that probably means you have been continuing to watch it as well. And after that point, we learned, after these several episodes of Neko, we've learned more and more about her, and we start to understand more. And it really did a lot for the development of both Aki and, of course, Masamune. Aki, she still was fighting her feelings, but after what Neko told her and everything, after all the stuff that happened, she started to understand more, including that one point where she was like, she didn't want Neko to feel bad, considering, all that kind of stuff after being being rejected. And that's why Masamune was kind of mad at her, because of the whole thing with, she did the same thing. That's why he was mad at that. And then, of course, you also have Masamune. He's just like Neko, what because of what she said, he doesn't want to follow that same path. It starts to plague his mind. He starts to have doubts about the plan again. And that's why it did pretty, it was a pretty good development for both him and Aki, that I actually was like, okay, you know, I was proven wrong after that first episode. I should have just gave it a chance more, and I did give it a chance, and thus that's why I was rewarded with this. That's why I think I will give it a chance. At the moment, Gasto is really irritating. He just seems like he comes out of nowhere. He comes in saying, he's engaged, and he's obviously lying about being Masamune. I mean, it shows he like, his name, obviously, his full name was like, I don't know, Gasto something, and it's not Masamune. And he's like, oh, my nickname's Masamune too. I'm like, who the hell would why would that be a nickname? That's longer than your name already, for one thing. And that doesn't correlate anything with Gasto, I'm pretty sure, right? So it doesn't make sense at all. He's obviously lying. He's obviously came in, maybe he's been spying all along, and he's trying to get into Aki's good grace and everything like that. And she's obviously, had feelings for, Masamune before, and that's why she thinks this is the Masamune. That's why she doesn't think the other, our main character Masamune is the Masamune from before, because he's not fat. Then we have this point where, like, Masamune, I don't really understand either. He said before, he said, do you know what pig's foot means and everything? And it seemed like she didn't understand that question. It kind of confused me on, did she ever really call him, pig's foot? Is that just like something that she forgot? Obviously, it was interrupted because he remembered where probably Neko would be, so he rushed off, and she kind of just, stopped. She didn't think about it later on, but it's something that has not been brought up ever since then, and it seemed like such a big, important thing. So it was kind of weird that they would just leave that out. It didn't really make sense, honestly. I don't know if later on they're going to explain it in these next coming episodes, but yeah. That's pretty much it. The other thing I really did not like about this episode is I really do not like Aki's friends. They are so irritating, full on like, oh my gosh, we can, Aki is our queen of the Yuri land and everything. All men are bad kind of thing. That's pretty much what they are. And they just like get pissed off at anyone, and it comes to the point where they're even pissed like, what? Is Aki not who, we thought she was? She's in love with this guy, all of a sudden she's all like blushing and everything. To which I gotta say, Aki looks super cute with just the one, the offset ponytail, like adorable, I'll have to say. But it pisses me off when obviously she's like all blushing and everything around Masamune. She's like completely different character. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, sure, I knew she was in love with Masamune before, the whole thing with how she was talking and everything, how she really actually did fall in love with, fat Masamune, and all of a sudden she's acting like this now, but it just feels like such a huge change. So, obviously something happened in the past, and this is why everything is like this, why she's acting like this. The fact that Yoshino doesn't even know is pretty damn crazy, honestly. In this episode, she had tried to figure out that if this person was lying, the paper's all, legit and everything. So it's really confusing on how the development of, everything is going on, where this person came from, what his plans are and everything. And the ulterior motives, there's some ulterior motives, obviously, for the whole thing when he talks to the friends, and pretty much tell them, he doesn't want to, sure, he's engaged with her, but he's not planning on kissing her or doing any of that kind of stuff. She's like, it seems like he doesn't want to push their relationship any more forward than that. So it's kind of like he's just using her, He presents it in a way, obviously, like, oh, she's like a beautiful flower that must not be touched kind of thing, just be seen and everything. And obviously that pretty much pushes those girls to be like, yeah, we just have to fight, Masamune now because he's a threat. Obviously because, yeah, I guess in terms of, he wouldn't do anything while Masamune would be, their ideas of how he would be like full on her. I mean, they're not off, obviously, from what we've seen in several parts of, like, not, throughout the season, including this episode where he just pushes her up against the wall kind of thing. That could be misinterpreted in a lot of ways, to which it was pretty smart of her to pretty much just go straight up in his face and say, your fly's down. He looks, she just walks away. Nice job, Masamune. You fell for that. But the episode pretty much ending with there's going to be the whole, final battle between them. Not final battle, but like it's going to be a competition between both their classes to see who will be able to, of course, do the play of Snow White. So it's like a Snow White competition. And of course, the other bet was who will be able to go with, to take Aki to the dance. So that's what the whole ending, my thumbnail shown with that smirk on Gasso. Literally, I was like, man, just punch the kid. Just punch him. But pretty much, like, I don't know how Masamune is going to end up winning this, because the Snow White for his class is Kojiro. And I'm pretty sure he's not going to want to kiss, Kojiro. And thus, that pretty much means that the kiss is a pretty big thing in Snow White. So how is he gonna win if he can't, kiss him? Unless he's willing to do anything, to which, I don't know, Masamune does seem like at this point he's willing to do anything to get his revenge. So who knows, maybe we will end up seeing Masamune kiss Kojiro, which will be pretty weird to say so, if I say so myself. But yeah, pretty much, like, in terms of the popularity of the characters, obviously Masamune and Aki are really famous. I don't know why I said I was gonna say infamous. They're really famous in the school. They're really popular in the school. And then Kojiro is pretty popular as well, it seems. And then of course, in this episode, Gasso was shown to be gaining a lot of popularity as well. So in terms of popularity, that's not going to be a factor. It's just literally going to be whose play is going to be better. And from what we see in the opening, to which this is where I say, like, oh yeah, the opening ended up spoiling us, because we do see that Masamune is going to end up kissing Aki along the way. So I'm not too sure how that goes, but that's one thing with openings. Openings usually do, like, there's always these spoilers kind of things, but there's a lot of times these spoilers are actually pretty interesting in the way that I'm okay with them, for the fact that when you see it, you're like, I wonder what, if that's going to be shown later on. Start analyzing and stuff, and then you see it later on, you're like, holy crap, okay, so I was actually wrong about this. It's like something like this and something like that instead. So when they have spoilers in the openings, and it's not enough to like completely spoil and ruin the thing, because there have been openings where I've seen where it just spoils it, and then like when the thing happens, it's like, yeah, okay, I already knew that was going to happen. The opening spoiled it completely. But if they're able to change it up and everything, and really make us like think one thing and then something else happens, that's always something pretty cool. So it should be interesting to see how this competition ends up going, and to see if Masamune once again will be able to, end up getting that kiss. And I saw in the forums though, one of the things is that people were saying that this will probably, the part where it's going to end, which is obviously the dance, since they talk about it, it's going to be weird for it to end there, and it's not going to be a good ending. So unless there's a season 2, people were kind of like, oh my gosh, it's going to be really weird how this ends. So hopefully there's a season 2, because I do not want to end it at some weird point, especially considering at least, people who have read this already, they know what's going to happen. So at least for them, they're like, oh, it sucks that it's not animated, but at least we know what's going to happen. For an anime watcher only, it's like, what happened? I'll have to go. It may be one of those animes where they're like, hey, go read the source material, because there's a ton of anime that end up doing that, and I honestly do hate that. I mean, I'm not against going to read the source material, but when it does force you to go do that, it kind of does suck. It puts a damper on things for anime watcher onlys. But yeah, it's all I really gotta say about the episode. Overall, like I said, I didn't really enjoy it because of the whole I didn't care for Gasso character. I didn't like how they brought him in and everything. It felt like it was just like some obstacle thrown in just to block Masamune and make him have a hard time. The girls were pretty irritating, but overall, like I said, I'll give it a chance. Things may change, just like how it changed from Neko. So hopefully it does change. Hopefully things get a lot better, and we understand more things, and hopefully more questions are answered, and we have a good ending, and maybe hopefully season 2, because if it does end where it's supposed to end and it's awkward like everyone says, I'm probably gonna be kind of sad, and I'm pretty sure you probably would be too, but yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Same time as, and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy, don't forget to like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And until next time, guys, see ya.